So I grew up with a very blessed family in the Philippines, and ever since I was a child, I could always get what I want. Um, ever since I was a toddler, 5 years old, I would go to Toy Kingdom, and whatever I wanted, I would get it just by either through perseverance or either through just crying. But either way, I got what I wanted, and it really didn't hurt my parents' wallet. So why not, right? So yeah, I had everything that I wanted. At the same time, by around 6 to 7 years old, I got into the showbiz world, which basically I became a child actor, and I went and starred in films. I went and starred in commercials, teleseries, and I got pretty good money from it. So aside from me being a pretty spoiled child, I could back it up because I was producing money for myself even at such a young age. But time skip or around seven no around 10 to 12 years old, the business started going down, and basically my family was struggling. But I didn't really feel the struggle because, of course, I'm still a teenager, or I was still a teenager, and at the same time, I still got what I wanted. So, as this state I am on, and as what I have learned from my previous experience, here is around 20 minutes of advice from a spoiled kid, real talk, and yeah. The first point that I want to get across is that you can't always get what you want. You have to work for it. All right. So this topic really hit me hard. I think the first time where I remember that I could not get something that I wanted was when I had YouTube at around 4 to 5 years old, and there was this toy that I wanted on YouTube, which was like a Triceratops toy where I can ride in it. But the problem is that was in the US, so I really couldn't do anything about it. So I begged my family, I begged my parents, please get me one, please get me one. I started crying, started bawling my eyes out for like 2 to 3 days, but I just couldn't get it. So the feeling of rejection and the feeling of failure is something that's been with us for a long time. But at the same time, we could do something about it. Problem is, we can't always get what you want right away. We have to work for it, which that's basically the lesson. We can't always get what we want, but we can always work for it. I think most of us, not just the spoiled kids in the world, could relate in the feeling of wanting something instantly. Like if you want to get abs, you search for a 20-minute ab workout to get abs in 1 week. As you all know, that hasn't worked. um, Let me know if anyone has gotten um abs in 1 week. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. But like what I said, we can't always get stuff instantly. It's a process, and we have to work for it. And for some people, this might not be obvious yet that they can always get what they want. And if they don't get what they want, they start getting emotional. They start crying about it, and it ruins their day. And if they keep on thinking about it in a way which is unattainable for them, it might just ruin their lives. So remember, you can't always get what you want. There's always something that you can't have right now, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Remember, success comes from the satisfaction. If you can't get something that you want, then it just means that you have to do something in order for you to get what you want. And it's a process. It might take a long time, but just remember, there's a universe that already has what you want. You just need to act on it, right? So, if you have something that you want, but you can't get it right now, then you work towards it. You don't hope for an instant fix. You don't hope for an instant solution. You work for instant action. Instant action will get you closer to your goal than any amount of begging, wishing, or praying can. Okay, so that was the first point. You can't always get what you want, but you could always work for it. The second point is no doesn't always mean no. Okay, from the spoiled kids out there, you know exactly what I mean. If your parents say no to something, it doesn't always mean it's a no. It just means you just have to cry harder. I can't believe I'm sharing this information on YouTube, but yeah, if I wanted something, for example, around when I was like 11 to 12 years old, I really wanted uh a German Shepherd. Yeah, a German Shepherd, right? And I showed my dad. I had like hints. I was like, first of all, I gave my parents hints like, Dado, ang ganda ng, oh, wait, sorry. Hey, look, Dad, this is a really cool dog. Wow, wow. What if you had one? What if you got one? Right. So I just showed hints to him like, well, what if you got one? It would be really cool, and I'd be really happy if I got one. Then my dad would be just there like, yeah, yes, son, yeah, yeah. It would be really cool. That's all. But I couldn't take it anymore, so I said straight up, Dad, can I have a German Shepherd? He said no, because it's like around here in the Philippines, it costs around like 20 to 30,000 for a purebred German Shepherd. And my dad's mindset is basically if you can't get the highest quality, don't even bother getting it. So basically, wait, where was I? So basically, it was low key pretty expensive for me to get a golden retriever. 30,000 for something that my dad wasn't even sure that I was gonna take care of, right? So as a spoiled kid, what I did was every time we were in the car, I would sing a song. I would say, I want a German Shepherd. Please give me the German Shepherd now. I want the German Shepherd. Okay, this is for the Tagalog people. This is the actual version. Kailangan ko na. Kailangan ko na talaga ng German Shepherd. Bilin mo na ako ng German Shepherd. So I would keep on singing that song every single day in the car ride, and eventually it just drove my dad and my mom crazy. So at the end, give it like 1 to 2 weeks, and um, the dad finally said yes. We got the German Shepherd, but unfortunately, um, around 2 to 3 months of age, it died from worms, like parasites. I think the antibacterial stuff that we gave couldn't save it. So rest in peace, Zach. I still remember you. But yeah, okay, that's a story. But the lesson is, no doesn't always mean no. You gotta act. You gotta persevere in something. If you really want something, you gotta be stubborn enough to fail and try again. To fail, to try again. To try again, try again, try again. You don't always have to give up on the first signs of failure. Because if you want something, then if you truly want something, you know how people say if you truly want something, you know what they actually mean? If you truly are focused on it. Basically, success comes from thoughts, continuous thoughts. Success doesn't always come from one thought, right? It comes from a succession of thoughts until it becomes an obsession, until it's the only thing that you can think about. By that moment, could you even breathe without it? Could you even breathe knowing that you won't be able to reach it? No. That's why it's an obsession, right? That's why it's an addiction. So, if you want something, you have to be obsessed with it. And when you're obsessed with it, you realize that no, no doesn't always mean no. It doesn't. It doesn't. You just have to persevere. Yeah, so no doesn't always mean no. It just means that you have to try harder. It just means that you have to persevere. And eventually, if you persevere hard enough and if you put in the right work, because work isn't the thing that will get you there, it's the right work. So if you put the right work in, you'd get what you want. Trust me, with the right amount of time and effort, you get what you want. Okay, so the third advice that I would give as a spoiled kid is love like how you are loved. Wow. I am feeling a really high sense of gratitude right now. Throughout my years, my parents have given me everything. They've given me everything. They've given my clothes that I wear. They've given this body that I've built. They've given me the money to buy this necklace. They've given me everything. And for most of the people who's watching this, who's able to watch YouTube at their free time, I would say it was probably the same thing for you. If you were a teenager, right? Imagine how loved you are. Imagine, okay, imagine sometimes in the dining table, if you wanted two chicken joys, they would control themselves not to eat the chicken joy so that you could get them because they knew that you're fat and that you wanted chicken. Okay, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me and my family. But I'm just showing an example of um their love, their consideration for me. Now, the love and consideration that you got from your parents, think about how much of a positive impact you could give if you could give that out to the world. If you could start loving. If you could start loving like how your parents loved you, you're gonna go far with that mindset. You're gonna go far with providing value to other people. That's basically how success works. If you want success, you just have to be the most valuable person. You just have to be the one to give the most value. But we're not talking about success or power right now. We're talking about love. So, love. And love doesn't always mean that you have to start loving other people right away. Love doesn't mean that you have to contribute to something. Sometimes, maybe we can't contribute to other people because we ourselves have a problem that we have to fix in ourselves yet. You know what I mean? Okay, as a spoiled rich kid. Okay, as a spoiled kid. As we spoiled kids, if you are a spoiled kid, you could probably relate to knowing that you get everything that you want, right? But at the same time, you're not loving yourself. You're loving the things that give you the instant dopamine. You're loving the objects. You're not loving yourself. So, what do I mean by loving others and loving yourself? Basically means taking care of yourself first. You need to take care of yourself first. You need to respect yourself. Oh, but I want to eat chicken because fried chicken from Jollibee because I love myself. But at the same time, you do know that it gives you acne from the oils. It gives you unsaturated fat that's really bad for you, the bad kind, and it gives you basically negative effects. With that in mind, are you actually loving yourself or are you just loving the object? Right? So, loving, by what I mean by loving is you love yourself and you love others. And the inspiration that you get is the love that your parents has given you, or the love that your garden has given you, or the love of basically anyone who's ever loved you before. If you're able to project that into the world, you're gonna go far. Okay, I just want to expound on my meaning or the definition of a parent's love. So imagine your dad. He works around 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., commutes for about 2 hours, gets home at 7, just for you to get fed, just for your family to get fed. Think about your mother who has given everything to you since day one, but still at the ripe old age of 17, 16, 15, 18, is still doing your laundry, right? Think of their unconditional love. Think of their sacrifice. Think of every single strength that they've done. Imagine you weigh their love in terms of strength. Think of how strong and powerful you can become if you could project the love that's already inside you, that's already been given to you, to other people. By doing so, you create a spark to the other person. You will make them feel loved. And boy, let me tell you the feeling of being loved. It's amazing. It's nice. At the same time, if you've ever received kindness from a stranger, you know the feeling of wanting to give it back. You suddenly have this strut up your step. You suddenly you feel like dancing while you're walking, right? And the chances are high that The next time you see a person or a random stranger, you say thank you or you say sorry, excuse me, in a more positive tone, right? You see how love affects people. So just have it in mind that to love like how you're loved. That's basically the point. Whew. All right, so that's three topics in. For the last topic, let me think. Let me think. There's no more. That's all. That's all I can say on the topic of being a spoiled kid for now. But if you guys are still here and have not clicked off, I just like to share a little bit of thoughts. So I'm currently 17. Yeah, my parents are still struggling, like business wise, financially wise. But still, I've been given food, I've been given clothes, I've been given money to spend on um useless stuff. But I want to change that now. I want to change that now. I want to start giving value, more value to my parents because I'm not sure how much time they have. I'm not sure how much time my family has or even anyone has. So I want to start contributing and I want to start loving, like how I said. So maybe the final point that I'm trying to say is to love your parents, love your family while you still can because they won't always be here. You know what I mean? They won't they won't always be here for the rest of your life. Some may pass, some may go away. Some you may never see again until your deathbed. So this doesn't just go for family. This goes for everyone. Everyone you meet, you might not see them again. Your friends, your closest friends. Think about them and think of having the possibility of not seeing them again because it is entirely real and entirely um realistic that that's gonna happen. So in this moment that you have right now, or the next day, or the next day, think more about being in the present and loving, loving people, having value and adding value to their lives, like how they have done to you or to yours. And yeah, that's about it. That's all of the advice I could give as a spoiled kid for now. And I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this yapping. This has been CC Queg. Like and subscribe if you've enjoyed my yapping. And once again, to give a summary, you can't always get what you want. No doesn't always mean no. Love like how you are loved, and love your family while you still can. That's it for this video, and that's it. Stay young, stay healthy, peace, love.